Alright traders, I am back again with another video, and this time I want to show you a couple trades, trade setups, and try to show you how I got into some of these. But first of all, I want you to know that I'm getting ready to show you a trade where I lost, and you could see right there minus 26.3. Okay, that's not a big loss. Okay, so I can afford a loss like that. So if I just show you all the time winning trades, I'm being deceitful to you, because really I don't win all the time, and for me to keep showing you winning trades really wouldn't make much sense, because you could still learn from some of these losing trades. So I'm going to show you the losing trade and let you understand what happened there, and then I'm going to show you how I got back into this trade, and it is now in profit for 63.9, and why I got back into it. A lot of times after a losing trade, I won't get back into that pair again, because usually that means it's not doing what I thought or what I expected. So I'm kind of confused. I'm not sure what it's doing. So I don't want to jump right back in. But when I do still understand the concept and what's happening with the market, I will take the trade again. So you can see currently we're doing well, but I'm going to show you where I lost the first time entering this trade. So let me talk about it on the daily time frame first. First of all, you could see, you're probably like, why aren't I using Ichimoku? Well, the market's kind of sideways here, and then this is a good range right here. So let's mark this so you could see why I'm not using it pretty much, because first of all, that's a big range there, right? Okay, so when I see that range, I know Ichimoku is not going to do well in that kind of a atmosphere. So let me show you. And you could see, I mean, pretty much we're below this cloud, so it is giving me some indication. But what's stopping me is that we're pretty much ranging, and you got a lot of crossovers back and forth. Ichimoku shouldn't be seeing stuff like that. You want to see trades where the market's continually moving to the downside or the upside, even like this. But I mean, you get a crossover and then you get another crossover. We don't want to see all these crossovers and the cloud changing colors 3 and 4 times within this time period, and it's kind of flat. You could see the cloud is going sideways, so really it's not a good atmosphere for Ichimoku. So also, if you look at it, you'll see that there's a range right here. So with that range, I'm looking at that big range. There's a lot of range in there, and this total range pretty much is, what is that, about 306 pips. Okay, so that's a nice size range. And when I'm looking at that, what I did was got my levels that I'm looking at for support and resistance, because if I'm trading this, I'm going to trade this as a range, and I'm going to show you how I got my levels. So first of all, you could see this was February 11, 2016. This was a news day. You could see the big spike. The market went all the way down to this point here. So why didn't the market break this level? So I marked this level as a level of support, possible support. Look to my left to see what else is over there, but you could see this market's pretty much cutting through that level. It's not a super strong level based off of that. But when I look at just seeing that, what the market did that day, and then what really got me was the market set this level that day, but then the market came back and made a level within that level. So we had a level here. We bounced off of this level right here. So I made this top level at like, what is this top? This level is like 78,351. Okay, and then I made the bottom level based off of a zone, because I used this wick, the bottom of this wick here, and then I also used that zone, and I used this upper part. So I knew that the market had previously been in this level here. So I wanted to take that into consideration and say, well, if this is support and resistance, it's really an area. So if this is going to be a support level, the market could come down at least to this level again. And guys, you know what? The market came right back down to that level right there, right back down to that point, and then started to move higher. So from that point, and I really wanted to get into the trade at that point, and the market moved from that point over 100 pips, 117 pips, okay, off of that level. So I kept the range in consideration. Now, what I did was looked at that level, seeing that I want to trade support and resistance, and support and resistance pretty much basic trading, and I went to my 4-hour time frame to get into an entry. So the first entry that I got into the break of this level here, and you could see where I got into the trade here, and then the market went a little higher for me, but then the market came back down, and then it stopped me out for 26 pip loss right here. All right, but then I did what I call a zone walk. Okay, so support and resistance has a zone, and this is a daily zone, and I'm on the 4-hour candles. This came so close to where I was just about falling asleep, and I couldn't stay up, and I wanted to see the market get to this point, and I wanted to get my trade as close to this point as possible. But I made a level here because the market was down here somewhere, and I moved my trade down, and I wanted the market to bounce off of that level and come back up to me. All right, and then I could put my stop loss a little bit below that level, so I wouldn't have much risk, because looking at that, I figured, well, based off of that daily big candle from the news previous, that we had a good level set. So the market came down, bounced off of this level, and then it came back up and triggered me right here. Now in reality, we have a trade called a zone walk, and the market went into the zone, and when we enter the market at that zone, we can move our entry level down to eliminate more risk. More risk you eliminate by moving into that zone, because this is your last level of defense for your trade. So you could be a little bit below that level. So if I enter right at that level, well, I could say, well, I'm gonna put this trade, I'm gonna put this stop loss 30 pips. So knowing that this level was a strong support level for us, basically, if the market comes down to that point, then I can put my stop loss. You know, I have a range of levels that I could put my stop loss, and I don't have to risk as much, because really the higher up I enter this trade, then the possibility for me for a bigger loss is even possible also, because if I'm going to use this whole zone as my support and resistance level, so my support level, and it's going to be my line of defense for basically my stop loss, I know the market could come back into that level. So just knowing that, I mean, it's not real sensible just to say that, well, the market's going to stop here or there. You know that it could probably come back to this point because this was a strong level prior. Now when I set my entry here, this was the lowest point prior, you know, here, besides that long day that we had on February. So I wanted to be just below that level, and I was just below that level with my stop loss, and then the market went higher and came back down and triggered me out. And I got right back into the market because I watched it fall below, because I figured that's what it would do. I've seen it happen before, that the market comes back and goes all the way down to my zone. So it goes all the way down to my zone here, and I get my trade down here in a better situation, and then I make more profit. So now where I entered down here as opposed to up here, what happened now, because I had my entry, I believe my entry was above this candle right here, and then my stop loss was below that level. Well, now I entered down here, and now I'm up to this point here. So looking at this with Ichimoku, you could see we're bouncing off Kijinsen, and that would look like a possible short opportunity. All right, but again, I don't really like using Ichimoku in this kind of environment because it's pretty much a range, so therefore I'm not going to use it. I'm going to look for the market to stay in this range. So I'm kind of looking for the market, you know, if I'm wrong, I still can make some profit here, but I'm looking for the market to come back up to these levels somewhere in this area. All right, because that's what it's been doing. You could see that. So what I'll do now is probably look for my first level where I'm going to look for the market to move. So I'm going to break it down to support and resistance levels, and that's how I'm going to figure it out. But now I want to see the market violate this fractal. It's made this fractal, so if it violates this bull fractal, then I know that pretty much will continue to the upside, because here we were violating bear fractals, and I don't really love looking at fractals in a range, but it's a nice size move that we're having here, and so you know what's happening with the market, because the fractals pretty much tell me the structure of the market and what's happening. So now you could see I'm in the trade, 70 pip profit, but there's major news coming out for this Aussie pair today. Probably, I think the news is at 8:30 tonight. Monetary policy statement or something to that nature, and pretty much I have my stop loss moved up here, so I'll have some profit. I just won't have the full profit if the market falls below if the market should drop. But if the market continues to move higher off of the news, then I'm already in the trade. I could get a good opportunity here. So I'm going to make this profit here because I already have profit, and I'm not going to lose profit more than likely. I know sometimes the news could be sporadic, and you don't get the exact level that you want on your stop losses, so that's a risk trading news there. But I have my stop loss set, and if I get taken out, then we'll see what happens. Other than that, if I get good news for the Aussie and it moves me higher, I'm already in the trade, so possibility for some good pips there. So that's how I got into this trade, guys. Pretty much support and resistance, basic stuff, basic levels. When you look at this on a daily time frame, it looks even better because you could see this whole structure. You can see this. You could see it sideways. You could see where it's bounced off of these levels, and you could see where it bounced off of this level, and now it looks like it's trying to violate and come back up to this. It violated the top point and now trying to move higher again. So it looks like it came from that point to here and trying to move back higher. So you could see where the market was moving between the range. So that's why I didn't use Ichimoku on this trade. Now, what I also want to talk about really quick, guys, I know I pushed this on you guys a couple times, but this will be the last time, because really what I'm going to tell you is that I'm having this Father's Day special, and it goes all the way until Father's Day, from now till Father's Day. And after Father's Day, come Monday, I'm going to close this down. It's going to be back to normal. But what I'm having a membership. You can join my site and have a lifetime membership and have all of my content 24/7, one payment, and that's it, $250. And that's going to be the end of it. You'll never have to pay another dime. You get every content that I have. I have a lot of content on my site. I can't always put everything on YouTube. So yeah, having a site, I can put most of my stuff on YouTube, on the site, and then members can check it out. But what I have is a chat room. We talked about this trade in the chat room, and a couple members took this trade. And we also talked about another trade in the chat room, and it was this Aussie New Zealand dollar trade that we're still looking at right now. This is based off of Ichimoku still, but basically the fractals. I use a lot of fractals. You'll learn how to use fractals in your trading, and you'll learn how to set fractal zones and fractal bounces and all of that, and support and resistance, and also Ichimoku, and then a lot of price action. So you'll learn those because you'll be able to take all my courses for free. You won't have to pay an extra for any of the courses, because I have 2 courses right now, Ichimoku course and price action course, and I probably just have one more course for beginners to just learn Ichimoku, and I mean not Ichimoku, but just to learn Forex. And after that I won't have any more courses, but I will continue to put out videos. What we do have is a 7-day market forecast, so we talk about what's going to happen, what we see with the market in the next 7 days or the next upcoming week with all of the pairs. We go through all of the pairs, and we do that every week. We have weekly webinars, so we may have 2 webinars a week, one whenever, we just plan it. We have our members forum. The forum is really exploding. There's a lot of content in the forum, a lot of videos in the forum, a lot of trade setups in the forum. We also have our chat room. The chat room is very good. It's been really busy, a lot of members, and we also have a channel, which when you get into the chat room, you also join our channel. And what our channel does is sends you all the alerts, all the trade setups, all the news that I'm putting out, if I make a new video, if I make a new post, you get a notification of that via the channel. So you won't miss any of my content. You'll be able to catch everything, if you're a member there. And what else do I have for you guys? I mean, basically that's it, pretty much. So we have our forum, we have our chat room, we have our webinars, we have our 7-day weekly forecast, we have our courses. You get all that stuff for $250, and you get the trade setup. So we post the trade setups in the channel, and that'll send. So if you join, you also join the channel. The channel, you join that for free, and then once you join the channel, you'll get a notification. You could get a notification on your cell phone or on your computer or wherever, and it'll let you know that I just posted something. You can see what it is, if it's a trade setup or whatever. Most of the time I post trade setups. I don't post trade alerts because I like to call it a setup, because you learn stuff from setups. But alerts, you just do what the alert is telling you. Take the trade at 108.379 and stop loss at 108.00 and profit at 110.00. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to say, well, I know why he's taking this trade, and I talk about the whole thing. I'll tell you why I'm taking a trade, where I'm taking a trade, how I'm taking a trade, all of that. All right. So when you're trading, you should be able to answer those questions: how, when, where, why, and what. Those questions should be able to be answered when you're getting into a trade. If you can't answer all those questions, then you really shouldn't be taking that trade. Your trade should be set up way ahead of time. It shouldn't be set up at the moment. It should be approaching setup. All right. So it should be approaching that setup, and that's when you take your trade. Also, what am I gonna tell you guys? That's about it, pretty much. So I know I've been pressing it and pushing it out there a lot, but this is probably it now. I'm going to go through this week and let it go, and after that I'm going to move the price, which is going to be back up for the lifetime membership, to $500, and right now it's going to be $250 cut in half. So I know I'm pushing it on you guys, but the thing is, guys, I'm not trying to push junk on you or garbage. I'm trying to push something on you that I feel you will really benefit from, especially if you're a struggling trader, because I have so many members that could tell you, you know, if they really like the course and if they really like what I'm doing and whatnot. So I don't know what to say, guys. I mean, it's hard. I see a lot of courses out there and a lot of memberships out there, and people charging all kinds of money for memberships and for courses and all. I'm really not trying to do all that. I really just want to be able to, once you get with me for a lifetime, you know, you get everything that I have. So I'm not trying to really, you know, take your money and say, well, you don't get this and you don't get that. You're going to get everything, you know, every single thing. So that's all I really have. You also get a chance to, you know, if you really are struggling with your trading, we could talk one-on-one. So I have that webinar, I have the go-to meeting, and I have meetings in there one-on-one. We could talk and try to get you right. But a lot of my members will tell you guys that, you know what, I am dedicated to my members. I'm dedicated to helping you. I mean, I do so many things for members, so many things that you wouldn't know. So I'm not going to push it any further on you. I don't want you to feel like I'm pushing it on you, but I know it's something good. It's not something that you waste your money for. All right. So if you really want to join it, you have to come to my site, which is going to be FX at One Glance. So I'll show you really quickly how you do that. All you're going to do is go to fxatOneglance.com. So you put those words all together, no spaces, fxatOneglance.com, and it'll take you to this page. And if you want to become a member, you just click here, and you will see that once you click that area, it takes you to this point here, and it'll tell you a little bit about the membership. So my computer is super slow, so you don't see anything really right now, but now it's coming down here. You see I have the special, and that's going to last until Father's Day is over. And then you'll go all the way down to the bottom of the page, and you could start your membership, and that's all you have to do. All right. And a lot of things that members see are, when you really want to go to the course, you click all courses, and that'll take you to the courses, and you'll be able to see, you know, whichever course you want to get into. High probability price action video course or the Ichimoku course. You take those for free. Here's where we click here, and you go to our forum. We have a live trading room right now, but it's a midnight trading room. It starts at 1:00 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and lasts only till 3 or 4 in the morning. And it's not run by me; it's run by another trader. But you could also have that too, and you could get into that right now, even if you're not a member. That's there for you. And then here's a members area and all the things that you could do. But here in the forum is most of the stuff, and then our chat room, and then our channel. All right. So I think that's enough, guys. If you really like that, I think you should take advantage of that. And I'm sure, I'm trusting and believing, I know that you will not be wasting your time or your money. All right. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. And then I hope you also have to think about something that maybe might help you even more. All right, so thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate y'all, and have a great one. God bless. So long.